And today we have a very good topic I want to share with all of you. Right? So I know a lot of you guys are very interested in, like the different tips, strategies of losing fat, especially dropping body fat here, belly fat, you name it, body fat, belly fat. But did you know that there's actually a hierarchy of the different things you need to do to your body, to your health and your body in order to achieve the long-term sustainable fat loss? Right? So when I talk about fat loss, what is that thing that you guys think of immediately? Let me know in the comments, okay? I believe a lot of you guys immediately think about what type of exercise can kill my body fat, right? What sort of exercise can zap and blast the belly fat, right? True or true? Let me know in the comments. But did you know that exercise, like training, is actually the least important thing in our hierarchy? So I'm gonna show you the graphic that illustrates what I'm talking about here after the talk. Okay, I'm gonna post it up so you guys can see visually what do I mean by the hierarchy of fat loss. What is the most important thing that you have to do, and what is the least important thing? And if you can do all of them, then great. Obviously, you will get yourself a very optimal result. Okay, so there are actually 5 important things, 5 elements that are involved in the whole fat loss process. Okay, I already mentioned that exercise is the least important, training is the least important part here. But what is the most important part? Okay, what is the most important part? The most important part, okay, the most important thing, I think some of you have been following me for long enough, you probably have guessed it already, is nutrition. Yes, anybody remember our formula here is 80% nutrition and 20% exercise, right? So you see how nutrition is 80% of the game. So nutrition in the whole game of fat loss is the most important part. It sits actually at the top of the important hierarchy. But if you want to see what we need to do the most, like if you see the hierarchy as a pyramid, nutrition is the most important part, right? So when we're speaking about nutrition, we are talking about having balanced, nutrient-dense food we have to eat, but also at the same time, if you want to drop body fat, you have to actually eat in energy deficit mode, which means you do have to consume less calories than what you spent. Okay, and some of you are like, okay, it doesn't mean that I just gotta cut out a lot of food that I eat. No, what I mean by that is that when you have planned the amount of food that you're eating, which is nutrient dense and hopefully not too high in calories, you actually spend the energy in your movement. So that way you can achieve, right, the calorie deficit. Okay, so you have to actually burn off calories in the exercise, okay, in the movement. Let's put it this way, in the movement. Okay, so remember this, you gotta eat balanced nutrition, nutrient dense, low calorie but high nutrition. So our Formula 1 shakes are a perfect example of high nutrient density but low calories. Okay, so nutrition is super important. When you change the way you eat, you will find that your body starts to change. Like a lot of you guys have experienced this in the 10-day challenge, right? Just by changing your diet in 10 days, you automatically drop like 4 pounds. Okay, so this is the most important part. Now, the second most important part is sleep. Yes, you have to get sufficient amount of sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, it will affect your hormone, okay? It will affect your mood. It will also affect your motivation, okay? A lot of you guys probably have told me that you're having trouble sleeping and you're not getting enough sleep, okay? Not having enough sleep will actually increase your stress hormones, which is called cortisol. And when your stress level rises, this actually increases your hunger hormone. Okay, you have hunger hormones which will always make you want to eat more, and it is so true. I have been there myself. I have lived through a couple of years where I was not getting much sleep because I was just so busy running around, so busy with a few things. And then I noticed that those few years I was always like snacking. I was always like feeling like I was not eating enough, and those were the years I was having very unhealthy relationship with food. I would like quietly, secretly snack on like junk food at nighttime, and the next day I'll feel bad about it. That's another story, right? So sleep is super, super important. When you're not getting enough sleep, it really messes with your body. It messes with your organs. It messes with your whole circadian rhythm. It messes with your just your energy as well, right? So sleep is very important. Now, sitting in the middle, the third important part, sitting on a hierarchy, is stress. Yes, so stress, okay, stress management. I should call it stress management. So look at how stressed you have been. Look at how much stress that you're actually experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Because the more stress you're actually encountering, the more it can actually affect your drive, your motivation, your exercise, also the way you choose your food. The studies have actually shown that the more stressed you are, the worse that your food choices are. Okay, so let's put a big focus on managing our stress. Okay, so stress management is sitting in the middle. Okay, are you ready for the next part? Okay, next part, we haven't got to the exercise yet. Like I said, we have the most important part is nutrition, and then we have sleep, and then we have stress management. Now, the fourth most important part is daily movement. Yes, daily movement. It is not exercise, it's just movement. So I'm talking about, like, have you got yourself up walking around? Do you speed walk? Do you do some house chores? Do you do certain things where your body is in constant motion, right? So that is very important, because in the modern day, in the modern lifestyle, a lot of us are sitting. We can easily sit more than 8-10 hours a day, like in front of the computer or whatever our job nature is, right? So this is very important. If you don't have the chance to actually take yourself to the gym, if you really don't have the time to actually do the training, the workout, the exercise, right, then make sure that you have the chance for you to walk around, right? Try to move as much as possible. Are you able to, say, take the public transport and then walk? Or are there any places where you can basically just get there by walking? Right? So walking, taking a hike is really one of the best daily movement methodology. Okay, so this is number 4. And then last part, the least important, is actually training. Workout and exercise. This is the least important part, right? So remember, I said this is the least important, doesn't mean that you shouldn't move. The daily movement is more important. Okay, so if you can actually you can actually make time, you have the opportunity to actually create that extra time for you to train, that's even better. Now, some of you are probably asking me, what do I do exactly in order for me to achieve optimal fat loss? Okay, so my recommendation, based on my experience and my training, knowledge, the best methodology, the program, the plan for your body to drop body fat is for you to do strength training. Okay, resistance strength weight training 3 times a week. Okay, do that 3 times a week. And then cardio, your cardio training, just do that 1 to 2 times a week. Okay, don't do too much cardio. Strength is very important, right? And then lastly, a lot of you guys enjoy doing high intensity interval training, HIIT, right? So you can do HIIT training about once or twice a week. That can really help you, right? But the most important part is make sure that you get your strength training 3 times a week. Okay, 3 times a week, and then pair with even flexibility training such as yoga, Pilates, and you can mix it up with your cardio training or your HIIT once or twice a week, right? And this will actually be a really good formula for those of you who want to train to help with your body fat. Body fat reduction. Okay, but before you train, you have to follow what I just told you guys, that nutrition is the most important part. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you managing your stress? Are you getting daily movement? And then you do your program your training. A lot of times what I have seen that happens to a lot of people is that they're not getting enough sleep, they're not eating properly, they're stressed as hell, but then they make a lot of time for their exercise. Right? So if that's the case, I'll be like, hang on. I'd rather you not train so much. Some people even sacrifice their sleep time to train. And then I'm like, dude, you're getting it all wrong. I'd rather you spend more time preparing yourself a very nutritiously dense meal. I'd rather you have more time to give yourself that sleep, the quality sleep and rest, do some meditation, than you taking away all this time from your restoration to train hardcore. Right? So make sure that you do these things first before you over dominate your time with too much training. Okay? Otherwise, that will be counterproductive. Right? Otherwise, a lot of you will be like, I'm not seeing results. I'm seeing results very slow. Why is that? Are you sleeping properly? Right? Are you managing your stress properly? Are you eating properly? How is your nutrition? Okay, so these are the things I want to share with you guys here today, the hierarchy of fat loss. I'm going to post the graphics after this in the comments, so make sure you go inside the comments and have a look at it. Okay, so thank you so much everybody for being here, and do let me know if you have any more questions about fat loss. Okay, love you guys so much and take care.